Alright, my name is Jani. I'm going to walk through my light setup. So basically, we'll start from here. This is my main drum machine, Roland TR8S. I basically run one channel of kicks into the mixer and the rest in stereo into another channel, including hats or whatever you got programmed in there. And that way I can turn the kick off, have the drum machine going. Now it's both playing. So the two things are separated. Second thing I have is the RD8, which is more like an 808 copy. Which, let me take some sounds out. It sounds like that. And that basically does your 808 sounds and helps me do my electro stuff. I literally run it in stereo in, not separating the kick. That's it. You can mute them. You can always mute things off and on from it. So that's going into another channel by itself. Next thing I have is the Analog 4. It's one of my synthesizers. I run that into one channel here. And I usually pretty much stick to one sound. So what you can hear now is something like that. It also comes with 2 rows of 5 control knobs, and they're called performance knobs. I've programmed them into 2 different sounds from the top row, which go basically frequency, resonance. The other one is amp, decay, sustain, and the other one is the filter, sustain, decay. So you can make them shorter or longer notes on the fly. That's my main sounds. I probably will use, let me put on another sequence from it so you can hear there's variations in different sequences, but all pretty similar sounds. I might sometimes use another sound on top. You hear that? It's just sort of complemented on top. I don't always use it, but I keep it pretty much to those 1, 2, and the second sound is my main one. That's it. Second box here is the Elektron Octatrack, which basically is the master clock. So it runs everything from MIDI. However, I keep some samples in them, so I put things like this in there. Basically, I just take parts of records or things that I've released before and sample them on a computer, chop them up, and then put them into here so I can play them back out loud without having to do too much to them afterwards. I can mute things or things like that, but that's about it. And together, sounds like that. Then it starts getting more complicated on this side. Let's just turn some things off. Now we can just hear the kick. The modular setup I run is 1, 2, 3, 4 voices. The first one would be a stereo output of a thing called Ensemble Oscillator. It's a modular version of 16 different voices stacked up. I don't know enough about electronics to explain it to you, but it sounds, it's not a mono synth. You can run it in stereo. I run that into a filter and into a couple envelope folders, so it folds the sound. So you can get a full sound like that, or you can shorten it and have more resonance in it due to the cut-off filters. Second sound that I run through it is Mutable Instruments Braids, a classic a modular voice. It does lots of things. You can do high-pitched stuff like this, or you can do can you hear that? Let me turn it up a bit. You can do it has various, it's a digital synthesizer, so it has various different settings and different preset settings, so you can change from, they all sound slightly different. And again, it goes through on the modular through several envelopes, so you can shorten the notes or lengthen them, or that's long, or I can cut it down to that. Third one is Moog DFAM, which I basically use as my 303 or my bassline machine. So it runs bass lines for me in different sequences, and they sound great with the RDA. And it's very hands-on. It has a row of accents and a row of knobs to change the tune. See, now it's higher pitch, or I can turn them down. And everything's pretty much hands-on, from filters to VCF decays to VCF EG amounts to resonance, etc. It's a great machine. It does really good bass lines, as you can hear. Now then, the last fourth voice that I use is actually it's not a modular. It's a Roland Boutique. It's a SE-02 Studio Electronics. It's a mono synth, but it's very powerful. It's kind of like, they call it the American Moog. And I sequence it specifically from this thing, which is called the Metropolix Solo. And it uses a slider-based sequencing, like an old, I think it's based on an old Roland RM183. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But it's very hands-on, and I can change things on the fly. I can change notes on the fly. How many pulses it has, were they short? And it runs on MIDI, so you can actually use it with any synthesizer you want. I just use it basic with that. And then on top of that, I also play, let me turn that off. I also play keys or pads in real time over the top. And I use, I don't know if you can see it, a Blofeld, which I just unplugged. But that runs purely with MIDI straight into the setup. It's not connected to the Octatrack or anything else. It's literally just keyboard into that, and I play it over the top live. That's it. The beautiful thing about these Arturia key things is you can actually write your own chords. So when you play a knob, it actually plays a chord set, whatever you program into it. You don't have to be a pianist to make it sound great. And I think that's pretty much for my live set, besides for the two little guys here, which are my effects units. I have a timeline, which is my delay that I use across everything here, and a reverb pedal made by Roland, just a humble RV6. And also that runs on the second row of send and returns here, so I can apply it to anything I want. And that's pretty much it.